Welcome to In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, the guy who gets the privilege of diving headfirst into the fascinating world of academic papers. And today, ooh boy, we've got quite a red to unravel. Our focus lands on a paper titled Determinants of COVID-19 Vaccine Engagement in Algeria, a population-based study with systematic review of studies from Arab countries of the MENA region by our esteemed author Mohamed Amine Hayreche and his team. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? All right, let's get to the heart of what this paper is tackling. The core question, it's a big one. What are the reasons some folks in Algeria are just not getting behind the COVID-19 vaccination campaign? This is not just about Algeria though, right? It's a part of this larger question about vaccine hesitancy worldwide. So why does this matter? Well, the more we understand why people might be hesitant, the better we can address those fears or misconceptions and eventually, get more shots in more arms. The authors of this paper looked at how the vaccination uptake in Algeria was moving along more slowly than a snail on a hot day, despite all the efforts being made to get those doses out there. They conducted a nationwide online survey. 1,019 people participated from across the 4 regions of Algeria, kind of like trying to get a pulse from across the entire body of the country. The method they used, called two-stage stratified snowball sampling, sounds like a scientific strategy, doesn't it? They aim to figure out what's making folks hesitant, collecting input from all walks of life. What did they find? Well, just like anywhere else, there's a mix of skepticism and concern. Some classic reasons why folks are avoiding the vaccine, things like worries about side effects, doubts about the vaccine's efficacy, and, get this, beliefs in conspiracy theories. These are among the top barriers stopping people from rolling up their sleeves. The willingness to vaccinate is only around 33.5% in Algeria, a number so low it's practically whispering. That's much lower than in some neighbouring countries. Like in the UAE, the paper shows the acceptance rate is at 75%. Quite the contrast, huh? Let's pause for a sec. Isn't it just wild how different places can have such vastly different responses to the same issue? I mean, same region, similar cultures, but such a different attitude towards vaccination really makes me wonder about what underlies those big differences. It's kind of like how you wonder if your cat has a completely different life philosophy compared to your dog. Stay with me here. Because how can the same kibble lead to such different perspectives? Anyway, sorry, just one of those digressions. Okay, back on track. The paper digs into, if you will, whether demographic factors, socioeconomic status, and personal beliefs play into this hesitancy. Results indicate people who are younger, women, unmarried, seem less likely to get vaccinated. Not to mention those who don't really perceive COVID-19 as severe or are not so shaken by the idea of catching it tended to be more hesitant, and female gender apparently was associated with a significantly higher likelihood of shying away from the vaccine. Anyone surprised, or do we think there's just a broader cultural or social influence at play? Now let's talk about actionables, right? If part of the reason is skepticism or worry about side effects, what's next? The authors suggest awareness campaigns could be key. Addressing misconceptions head-on, they say, could increase engagement rates. But hey, remember folks, academic research like this isn't the final word or some kind of divine decree. It's more like a map, giving paths to explore, but not the only roadmap out there. While our author isn't telling us to pack up our doubts and ship them away without consideration, they are giving us a lens to understand these roadblocks better, and that is where we find significance. So to wrap up, think about this. What does the vaccine engagement rate mean for you, dear listener? If we unravel the reasons behind why someone might hesitate, we might not just boost vaccine rates, but also build trust in public health systems. Heck, maybe even improve overall health communications. Thank you for joining me today on this whirlwind through data and insights. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, because academia is not just a dusty tome, it's where curiosity meets breakthrough. Catch you on the next episode of In Depth with Academia.